I am Spiff the Ice King, and the final film that I saw in Nightmare in the Ozarks was called Southern Nightmare. And this should be a fairly brief review because I've already reviewed this fucking movie. Yeah, it's a Charlie Steeds joint, so let me just say that originally I was going to do a video on each of the directors that I could find anything on, and then at the end of it do this big Nightmare in the Ozarks video, but that fell apart pretty quick because most of the directors I couldn't find anything on, and the ones that had done things before didn't have their stuff up on streaming. So Charlie Steeds was the only one that got that treatment because I basically just ran out of time. In addition to that, Nightmare in the Ozarks changed their schedule on me. And when I say changed, I mean they just made a schedule. So I had done this with a couple of different directors and watched about half a dozen movies before they put out their schedule. So I had done a whole bunch of research on a bunch of directors that I now had to change because I wasn't going to be able to see their movies. Anyway, I'm just freeballing this review. This is just kind of a stream conscious one, so I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know what we're in for. Let's just go. So basically, this movie is Death Ranch. Death Ranch is this movie. And if you haven't seen my review of Death Ranch, please go check out that video that I did on Charlie Steeds because I talk about Death Ranch in more detail there. For those of you that haven't seen it, let me just give a brief rundown of Southern Nightmare. Southern Nightmare is about two women who are trying to make it big in, I think, the music industry. They're trying to get the one girl's career going down in Dallas. And on that trip to Dallas, they stop in a small town in, I believe, Georgia. Don't quote me on that, though. But in that small town in Georgia, they are abducted by a couple of rednecks and their redneck sheriff, and they are imprisoned and done all sorts of unspeakable horrors to, and this is the documentation of those things. So this is insanely similar to the other film that he did called Death Ranch. And the only real difference is that there's no prison through line here. And there is also more than one location, which was my biggest gripe with Death Ranch. The other thing missing from Death Ranch that Southern Nightmare does not have is much in the way of social commentary. I felt like Death Ranch was trying to tell me something, like there was a story that it wanted me to know about, that way I could re-examine my worldview. But Southern Nightmare is just pure exploitation type of horror. It's very 70s Gorefest styled, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's not my thing per se, but it's definitely something that I'm not entirely against. It's not going to turn me off. The one thing that does kind of turn me off is just the repetition in this movie. The major plot beats in this movie just get repeated ad nauseum. There'll be an escape attempt, they'll get captured again, they'll get brought back to the house, and then they'll have some unspeakable torture done to them. And you rinse and repeat that like, I don't know, I think 4 times is what they ended up doing. Like there were at least 3 different escape attempts, with the final one being successful, but it just felt like it had been done before. Also present is the overabundance of really kind of poor acting. I think the 2 lead girls give their best performance, and the ones playing the girls' parents and uncle give a very good performance. But specifically, I'm talking about the white male leads. Like the guy who plays Bug Eyes, and the only reason I remember that character's name is because his name is fucking Bug Eyes. But Bug Eyes gives a pretty decent performance for what he is asked to do. But the other 2, they just can't bring anything else to their characters other than sadistic laughter. And their sadistic laughter is very community theater, I want to say. I'm trying to say this without being mean, but they just did not give me any kind of convincing performance. And it really brought the whole project down for me. Because I think there was something at least fun within the layers of repetition and really poor performances. The very end sequence when you get the ridiculous over-the-top violence from the family coming to rescue the 2 girls, it's a lot of fun, and you get to see a lot of what I think Charlie Steeds is wanting to be known for, and that is all of his SFX work, but the story leading up to it just really didn't carry through for me, and I can't honestly recommend this one, and I don't think I'll be watching this one again anytime in the near future. I really don't have much else to say on Southern Nightmare. It wasn't for me, but I don't think it was a terrible movie. But I think I am at the end of my journey with Nightmare in the Ozarks. I do have a little bit of a video to do where I'm just talking about my experience at Nightmare in the Ozarks, but that's going to wait until after the holiday and probably might not even come out the first week of November. It depends on when I can get to it. But for now, please like, share, and subscribe if you liked this video. But until next time, sayonara, bitches.